Hello and welcome back to the Way to Native Chronicles. We have an interesting video for you today, I believe, and this video is going to cover how to make a cargo box for your ATV. At the end of this video, if you like this box or want to use some of the ideas from it, I'm going to have a link at the end for my email address so you can contact me and download the plans for free. So let's get started on this. Now the first thing you want to do when making a cargo box is figure out where you're going to put it. Now you can see in the case of this ATV, I have a seat on the back. That's where my wife likes to sit. Now, a lot of people don't have a seat on the back, and I can understand that, but you know, if you want to have your wife or somebody on the back, this area is being used up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be putting the rack on the front grill. It's going to make it a little harder steering if you put a whole lot of weight on it, but it can be done. And my requirements for this are that I have to carry this big chainsaw. Now this is a Stihl MS 661C saw, 91 cubic inch saw, so it's quite a bit of weight and it's quite large. I want to be able to carry that on the front rack. I also want to take a rifle, and this has to be on there too, ideally. Another kind of peculiar requirement of mine is that I have an authorization to carry a handgun. So in Canada, according to Canadian law, if you have a handgun in your holster, if you have an authorization for that, what you have to do is you have to put a trigger lock on it and put it in a lock box. So I put a padlock on these latches here, and that's how it has to be when the vehicle is moving. So once the vehicle is not moving anymore and you get off, you can put the handgun back in your holster. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but that's the way the law is. So you don't want to be caught driving around with your handgun in your holster. So another particular requirement. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this box that I've made and show you how I put it together. Let's get this saw off to the side here, and let's begin with the box. Now this box on the back, you can see I have mounts for rifle. That'll hold one rifle, and on the bottom of it what we have is sort of a mortise, I guess you would call it a mortise piece, two pieces in there. These pieces are shaped exactly to fit the rack openings on this particular rack. Now this is a Honda TRX 500 Rubicon, so that may vary from depending on which kind of an ATV you're using, but this is made to suit mine. So what I do is I take this and I'll just put that in there, open up the lid, and I'm going to press it down into the mortise joints so they're lined up. Yeah. There. It's pretty important to get that mortise fitting in there nice and tight. So once we got that going, you want to secure, it's actually already really secured tight onto the ATV, but of course that still could be rattled off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple of U-joints, the U-bolts, and need some plates. Right there. And need wing nuts as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this onto the quad, and this is a little bit of fiddling stuff, but it's not that bad. So let's see here. That one through. And so I got the U-bolts pointing upwards, going through here, and I'm going to put the wing nuts on. And you can just tighten this down right so it really sucks that mortise down into the rack and really secures it tightly. Okay, so let's put another one. Now I've got a bunch of U-bolts in there, but I'm only using 2. So I'm going to take this one now, and I'll find my hole. Let's see, where's my hole? There it is. Okay. Come up there. Put another one of these guys on there. Oh, I have it fits. Take another wing nut. Pop another one on. Okay, so once you got this on there, this box is tight. You can hear it kind of creaking as it sucks down into the rack, in fact. So it's a really good idea to spend a little bit of time and get that mortise fitting the rack just perfectly. You'll have a lot less wiggling around going on there. Yeah, I'll put this other stuff back in here. I carry a bunch of extra nuts and bolts with me because in the field I do tend to lose stuff. Okay, so put this away here. Now, what else should we talk about? Next thing, now that we got this on here secure, this lid will lock on, so I can put a padlock through that. And you might notice that the height of this box is a bit high. You really want to have the box as low as you can get it, but in the case of this, my requirements, this chainsaw I'm going to be using for felling trees and for milling lumber, so I kind of have to have a big saw, and the big saw is tall. This bar here comes up pretty high, so most people with the saws they're going to use, they could get away with quite a bit lower box, so I'd recommend going with as low a box as you can. In this case, we're going big. So see what I'm doing here? I'm just sliding that chain with the chain guard on through, and you can see in there how this fits in there. I just push it through and then slide it back. Once that's in there, this slot that the chain guard goes through is nice and tight, a tight fit, so that keeps the whole thing from wiggling around. And it's just barely high enough so I can close that lid now. So we got that part done. What we're going to do next is we're going to show how that handgun case fits in there. So this will go and fit in here. I put a little bit of furring strips around it so that the bolts that are sticking out don't scratch the case. And then I can just get a bungee cord of whatever length and fit that on here and strap that around the box so nothing shakes. So you see that everything is held in there nice and secure. So now we have that done. Let's take a look at putting the rifle in here. What we're going to do with this is we're going to take this rifle, we're going to mount it to the back of the box. Now I've got these little rubber springy things that I picked up, and I can just take this and slide the gun right in there, like so. We're going to put some extra padding on this later on. But basically what you do is you can just clamp the rifle onto there, and she's not going to get away out of the, when you go over the bumps. So that basically covers the whole setup here. If you want to carry a rifle, then what you have to do is make sure that your steering doesn't collide with any of the attachments. If you're designing your own or working from these plans, test fit everything carefully as you go along, because it's really easy to make a mistake like this. And you see here I can crank my handlebars all the way over and I don't hit anything. If I had made this box a little bit deeper, then my handlebars would be hitting the back of it, and I maybe wouldn't realize until I'm finished construction, and then I'm stuck. But as it is, I can crank my handlebars left and right all over. So that's what you want to have. Okay, I think we've covered this box quite well. If you have any questions, then by all means put them in the comments. We'll try to keep content coming. It's been a little bit slow lately because I've been working on so much stuff. As you can see over there, you take a look down there, we've got a trailer ready for this quad as well. So a lot of this, there's a lot of work that's involved in putting something like this together. So that about wraps it up, I think, for this video. I hope you got something out of it, and if you have some questions, by all means ask. Make your own suggestions for improvement of this unit as well. So for the Weighted Native Chronicles, I'd like to wish you God bless, and we'll catch you for the next one.